everyone. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. So in this video, I'm going to explain a little bit about what narrative is, how I see it, how I understand it. And trust me, stick with me, this will make sense. You see, when I first learned ICT concepts, trading in general, I thought there were things about the market we can know. If you know some things are facts, are constants, then you can understand and accept that some things are variables. But I've realized that as far as technical analysis go, the only constant can be you. It's about you building an internal logic, which is always constant, because the moment you change or you switch things around, then you're multiplying the variables in the market by a factor of yourself. Let me get into what I'm trying to mean here. When I learned ICT concepts, I always relied heavily on bias. What is the daily bias? Where is price going for the day? Now that I've, tried it and studied it and failed at it sometimes, what I'm starting to realize is perhaps the best way to think about this is to understand narrative. Now, I pointed out in one of my videos that narrative is simply figuring out what story the market is telling and how to participate in that story till it's done, which means knowing when the story is over is very, very important, and being flexible with what story the market is telling at whatever point is very important, and knowing when the market is not telling any story is also very important. This means that you can't use a false logic, and that's why ICT's concepts are just genius, because the logic is consistent and it works for the most part. Now, let's take a look at this bit of price action. Okay, I'm just gonna get right into it. When I came on this chart, no, let me start from how I was trading in the past. Okay, if you look at my other videos, you see this. So if you've watched my other videos, you see that I had a checklist. I want to see price take liquidity in London, and if it happened in Asia, then I want to see liquidity taken on the other side of the market. The question is why? Why this checklist? And providing a checklist is very irrelevant if there's no underlying logic behind it. So instead of finding a checklist, how about you just navigate your ways around the 1 minute time frame using the 15-minute time frame landmarks. This is what I mean. When I came on this chart this morning, I had no clarity at all. I didn't know what was happening. Only thing I realized was this buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency here. Which means that if I know nothing at all, two things I can be drawn to is relative equal highs up here, price coming down into a BISI, which is fairly in discount. Means that if price gets in here, I can look for a buy setup and buy. Well, I missed out on that because, like I said, I came late. So when I came, all this price action had happened. But let's dig a little bit into this price action to see what we can figure out from here. Okay, so while we get in this price action, I'd like to point out that the information that have already been printed on the chart, those are parts of the story we can use to our advantage. Those are constants. Those have already happened. So this is this BISI right here. We came here at 212. Very nice. If I was on the market by then, so when I came on the market, this is what I saw. By the way, let me show that. Yes, this right here. Delete this. This is a trade I took this morning, by the way, so please follow. When price came here, in the past, part of my checklist was if price comes into the 15-minute fair value gap or point of interest, because I only use fair value gaps and breakers as points of interest. When price comes in here, I'm waiting for a market structure shift with displacement. There we have it right here. Market structure shift with displacement. And if price feels an imbalance or a fair value gap, I'm buying. So it means that if price gets in here somewhere, I'm buying, my stop is down here. And I would have taken a losing trade because I was using a false logic. When price comes here for the first time, the one thing I have to look for is some sort of liquidity grab. Now, price taking out this low was a liquidity grab. So perhaps if price expanded here, I would have bought somewhere here. Something I'm still experimenting if it has to be inside the point of interest or if it can be outside the point of interest. Anyway, we know this idea failed. The first idea of the checklist I had failed, but price did ultimately come down here, take out this low, and then leave a fair value gap. So even if I wanted to buy, this is where I would have bought, inside this fair value gap. expanded, move my stop loss to break even, and it would have failed. You see, once this idea fails, I'm thinking, perhaps the buy idea was wrong. Because the only reason this would fail is if the market is going to go into consolidation, or if the idea I had simply was wrong. Which means that I can go on the 50-minute chart, and that if price closes outside of this fair value gap, I can use this to build a narrative in the other direction. In essence, use this buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency as resistance. So that's exactly what I did. As you can see, price came up in here. So let's go to the 1 minute time frame and see what that looked like. You see, one thing I'd also like to point out, because I want all the logic that goes on in my head internally when I'm looking at these markets to be laid bare. Yeah, so this is one of those things that is only failing and studying many times actually taught me. When price came past this busy, it took out the sell side liquidity. When price takes liquidity in any direction, it can consolidate, reverse, or retrace. So when it took sell side and consolidated, that's something I like very much. You can see we have this consolidation, and then price goes all the way up into the busy. So here I'm waiting to see some sort of liquidity grab, and it happened right here. Price poking above that high is all I wanted to see. This right here. So I'm watching, and I'm waiting for an imbalance, any type of imbalance. You can see it went past it even some more, and then created this imbalance, left a very small fair value gap right here. So as you can see, there was no need for a market structure shift on my end. I didn't think about it at all, because I'm learning to trust the logic that I've seen working again and again. So a short position, put my stop loss above here, and the drawn liquidity was the sell side I identified before. Put that down here. So I didn't intend for this trade to be a 7R, but hey, it is what it is. And price picked up the order right there and just dropped so fast that I didn't close immediately. I didn't put a TP, right? So it just blasted all the way down to take out the low of the previous day, and that's where I closed. For a 15R, this is the biggest trade I've ever taken in my trading career. Not the biggest I'll ever take, God willing, but the biggest I've taken so far. And it was a huge success. In the past, I would have never taken this trade, because I'd be waiting for a market structure shift on the 1 minute time frame somewhere here, and I'd be waiting to see price come back into this fair value gap. But there was no stopping. They just blasted down, and that was it. Catching this trade makes me very happy, because it's a very nice refinement to my model. You know, I haven't changed anything inherently about the model, it's just improvements of it, and that's very good. The funny story that something funny happened actually. So I have a small live account that I'm trying to trade to sharpen my skills till I'm good enough to get back on trading challenges. I'm risking $2 per trade when in profit, and $1 when I'm in drawdown. And I took this trade. I think I placed a lot size of 1.9, because that was the equivalent of $2. Because I think this was like 2.5. This was like 1 pip. This was a 1 pip risk, bro. So yeah, I placed 1.9, which was like $19. $1.90 on the trade, and I made $20. The problem was I mistakenly took it on my demo account, so that was slightly painful. But the good thing is I had the same psychology when I was entering, because I 100% thought it was the live account. So I think it reached somewhere here. I checked the money, and I'm like, bro, what did I do? Yeah, but when I made that account, I wasn't thinking about the money, because $20 is not gonna change my life, mastering the skill and getting good at it and getting funded, and that's the game changer. So this is all I'm gonna keep doing, folks. I hope you found some value in this video, man. If you're enjoying this process, if you want to learn together and follow my journey, please like and subscribe to this channel. And yeah, all the best in your trading, in your life, and whatever thing you're doing. I'll catch you in the next one.